Prologue. Did you hear about Hal? Portland, Oregon, August 2018. Hal Romer's rusty Dijon mustard-colored Silverado entered the Portland city limits mid-morning after a long drive from Cheyenne. The truck looked more than a little out of place with its Wyoming plates and fading Gadsden flag sticker. He wore a Red King ropes hat with white lettering over his bald, liver-spotted head, a brown pearl-snap shirt and jeans. Hal was in town because his grandson Nick, a.k.a. Nicky, was moving into his dorm room at Portland State, and he'd driven here with a load of Nicky's things packed under a blue tarp in the bed of the truck. He'd made a deal with all his grandkids that, if they got straight A's in high school, he'd pay tuition and boarding costs at any college they chose. The University of Wyoming at Laramie would have been preferable to Hal. He didn't know what difference there was, if any, in the academic programs being offered, but he understood that sometimes kids just needed to branch out and see something new. More than anything, though, Hal loved his grandson and took every opportunity to spend time with him. So here he was. The stuff in the bed of the truck was hardly worth the 17-hour drive. Hal could have flown out there and just bought Nicky new stuff. It wasn't like he didn't have the money. But Hal Romer hadn't flown in a plane since the flight that took him home from Vietnam after 16 months in the shit landed on U.S. soil. He wasn't afraid of crashing. He just hated the feeling of being crammed into a confined space and having no control over it. Claustrophobia. He'd put up with it back then to serve his country, but never since. So Hal drove, just like he always did, listening to his AM talk radio and the occasional FM classic rock station that came into range. He kept the windows down instead of using the AC, sang a little, did some thinking, watched the roadside for twitchy deer, and ate food he wasn't supposed to. He saw the sun set over his beloved Rocky Mountains twice, and smiled at the thought of his wife, Maggie, now gone 30 years. No doubt Maggie was laughing at him from heaven every time he spilled coffee or farted or shouted, "Aw, shit," as he swerved to miss something on the highway. Maggie was good like that. Yeah, he'd say out loud, feeling her presence in the empty seat to his right. Really nice, laughing at a poor old man. Just keep a cup hot and ready for me, and for Christ's sake make sure they let me in so I can see you again, okay? After all these years, he still liked to be alone with her on the road, living or otherwise. As he made his way into town, Hal carefully observed the street signs and landmarks he'd plotted.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?